Alrighty. Good morning. Let's make sure we got some audio here. Let's check it. Seems as though we do. How's everybody this morning? So we got the ES and the Nasdaq opening up right here, kind of at the VWAP. VWAP on the Nasdaq, 15,012. Currently at the 15,005 mark. I marked out the high and the low from the midnight. So we are, yeah. How's it going, Juker? So what are we expecting to happen here? Are we expecting it to run down here to the lows? 79 maybe, or is it? Or do we hold the VWAP and keep pushing? That would be the question. Let's kind of explore where we closed out on Friday. Where did we close? Pretty significant gap to the upside there. 15,139. We opened up 100 points below where we closed on Friday. So let's just see what happens here. I mean, I don't know. Kind of thinking we run the 78 level, but who really knows? Oh. Like I said, the ES is right there at the VWAP, as is the Nasdaq. So if we hold that VWAP, maybe we get going. Let me see. Well, I guess I got the pivot points on here. Let's get these pivots on here. Like I said, guys, going to try to get back to doing the London session. So here we are, opening up here, starting to sell down. Got some sell volume coming in. We got the whole number right there, 15,000. Now you turn that, there we go. 15,000. Do we start to sell? Let's consult that 15-minute chart. Sellers coming in here, testing the 90s. ES down to the 4307 here, looking a little bit weaker than the Nasdaq. So far anyway. There's the 95. Probably would have participated short here if we weren't at the whole number there. How's the audio, guys? Can you hear me okay? I did get a different mic and stuff, so I'm I mean, I think you can hear me okay, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So pushing back up to that 15,000 level there. Got some buyers stepping back in here. As long as we hold to, all right, thanks, Juker. As long as we hold below the VWAP there, I think maybe we get going. Let's see what we get. Trying to retest the VWAP here. ES back up to the 10s. Nasdaq hanging out there at the 08s. Do got the pivot point to the downside at the 95s. So let's kind of look at it here. I mean, if we get above the 12s here, and the ES gets above the 10s, maybe we could push up into that 20 area. 25 maybe. Kind of if we hold below that 10 level there, if we start to sell. So we kind of retested this trend line here. So if we see buy our sellers kind of push in here, we could take the short. If the buyers push in, we can take the long here. Really need to clear that VWAP though. ES testing the VWAP there at the 10s. Alright, we're going to go ahead and take a long here. Just looking for the 22s here. If we can get a push into the 20s. Nothing crazy. It's kind of the idea. So we're pushing through the VWAP here. See if we can get a little push up. So the ES above the VWAP now. Nasdaq testing the VWAP. Like I said, buyers came in, pushed it above the VWAP there. So that's kind of the idea. Pretty simple idea here is if we hold the VWAP, maybe we push back up into the highs before we kind of sell off. If we don't hold the VWAP, we sell possibly. So ES up into the 12 area. lose the VWAP here, then we won't love it, obviously. Let me move these stops down a little bit. Maybe to this area. Rejecting the VWAP now. Alright, let's just go ahead and take that off. So that's one of those things. Got kind of above the VWAP there, and then we're, you're expecting it to maybe just go. Then it just rejects it. So the ES pushed up into the 12s and now pulling back into the 08s. It's kind of testing that 15,000 level here. Does it kind of hold the 15,000 level here, or does it lose it? I do think if we lose the 90, then we can see the low a day there. It's kind of what it looks like it wants to do. ES down to the 05s. Sellers coming in here pretty heavy. 90s are going to kind of be the test there. I don't really love shorting in this area, but so the ES bouncing off the 05s there, trying to pop back up a little bit. Let's check the old Twitter. don't know. Trying to pick a direction here. Looks like it's wanting this low, but we are at the whole number. Could kind of hold here. We get through the 90 though, we should be able to see that 80 area pretty quickly. Kind of would be the idea. Alright, through the 90. Let's give us the 79, 75. And we'll feel okay about it. Gonna lock in this much. To get us basically back to even after that failed first trade. Want to just see this push right through the 80. Pivot point down there at the 77 area. Gonna trail this down. Could bounce here, but let's just get it on down to the 80. Lock in some profitos. No, come on. Keep going. Don't stop me. I should give it room, but we're not going to. It should push right through there. Should being a key word. All right, I think that would get us to even at least. Come on, let's push through there. ES almost at the lows of the 02s. It's down to the 03. Let's just push right through there. Come on. You got it. All right, we just take it off right there. Lock in a few dollars. A few dollars. So that was a $645 trade, but unfortunately we were down $400 going into it. From that bounce there. Pepe. Word on the block is that Pepe 2 coin is going to the moon. All right. I don't know what the Pepe 2 coin is. Well, let's take it to the moon. I'm with you. So there we are, $215 on that account there. So we're about $1,400 away from getting this one funded. So I did load my cash account, but it's not, the money didn't go in there yet. So I'm going to start trading that 5-minute gap strategy on my cash account with just a couple of micros. I put $4,000 in there. I think that's what I put in there. So we're going to start trading that with the micros probably Tuesday. We're going to do the 5-minute gap strategy with 2 micros. Might only yield us maybe $400 or $500 a week, but anything, if it yields us anything, I'd be happy with it. I should have expected this push back up. Actually, you can see this thing kind of left this order block here. So you would kind of expect it to kind of hold below this area. So I really should have just had my stop right there at the 03s, top of the order block. And just left it there for the run of the lows. Still has not pushed through the 78s. Pivot point down there at the 77s. I think we pushed through. At least touch that pivot. The ES ran the lows already. Down to the 02s. So Nasdaq bouncing around right there at the 80. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. We appreciate it. I'm trying to push into that 350 subscribers. I don't think we made it there over the weekend. Guys, I don't think we made it. We can't make it to 350. What's the deal? So if you are watching and you're not yet subscribed, you know what to do. You know what to do. Let's check it. Let's see where we're at. ES down to the 01s. Nasdaq about to run the lows here at the 78.75. Yeah, we're at 347. 347. I think we ended the day on Friday at 348. So we got less subscribers now than we did on Friday. Somehow. Somehow that is. I don't know. It's baffling to me. How's that happen? How's that happen? I don't know. So still haven't ran the lows. We ticked 79. What is that? 79.75. So just kind of consolidating down here at the perceived bottom. Could still be holding short here, but we just wanted to get out, get our profits. There we go. There's that push through 75. So let's see if we lose this pivot. Like I said, you got that pivot point down there. You can see it right there, 77.50. Probably should have just stuck with our original analysis this morning. We were expecting the lows to be ran. We were thinking, and then we started pushing above the VWAP. And I kind of changed what I was thinking. I was like, well, if we push above the VWAP, I guess maybe we push. But, and here's the thing. I didn't wait for it to stick, right? It just pushed above the VWAP and I jumped in long. We didn't wait for it to stick. Should have waited for it to retest the VWAP before we got in long there, but that's okay. We got it back, so. We got it back. See, I'm interested in see if the 5-minute gap strategy continues to pay. I mean, we've tested it over 5 weeks. With one mini, you're up $11,000. So 2 micros, you know, micros are what, 10% the size of a mini. So if you're at 20% of the 11,000 over the 11 weeks, would still just be about 1,100, or not 11 weeks, 5 weeks, be about $1,100. So $200 a week or somewhere in there. I'm sorry, it should be $400 a week on average with 2 micros. So that's what we're going to be looking to do. That's the reason for the forward test, to see if we could see if it made any sense to fund an account and use that on that gap strategy, or one of them, whichever one worked the best. So gap strategy seems to be having larger profits, same consistency. But because it has a 2.5 to 1 risk to reward, profits are larger at this point than that 15-minute break strategy. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to be doing the review video a little differently from now on. Going to record the trades and I'll show you guys in the video, in the replay, me actually managing the trades, taking the trades, and go from there. So we ran the lows. So what are we thinking? What are we thinking here? So we ran the lows. Now the ES is kind of at this whole number support at the 4,300. I think we want to see that ES kind of hold that 42.95 area. If you zoom out here, that's kind of, there's an order block down there in that area. Then you kind of want to see the ES hold. On the 3-minute chart, so if it holds that 95 area, I think we can get kind of a push back to the upside here. See the wicks on the bottom of these candles. We also got the pivot point right there at the 77. So if it can hold this 95 area on the ES, and the Nasdaq kind of holds this 70 area, then I think we can get going back to the upside here. I mean, there is room here to the downside, but so what we'd want to see is a market structure shift back to the upside, right? So what does that mean? Well, we want to see the swing highs kind of taken out. So there's a swing high there at 92. There's another one here at 03, which coincidentally the VWAP's right there at the 09. So you want to see this thing push back up to maybe like that 9-10 area. Leave us some sort of PD array for an entry to the long side here. Kind of what I'm expecting to happen. It doesn't mean it will happen. And then maybe we'll run this 33.50 if we get going. Get above that VWAP and get going there. But I really want to see it hold this pivot area. ES down to the 99.50s, pushing off of it at the 01s. So once again, if you guys are watching and you're not yet subscribed, you know what to do. It's free. Let's hit that subscribe button. Got the explosion line below the dead man here on the WADA. If you are interested in trading futures, we do have the link to the APEX as well as Bulenox and Topstep down in the description with the coupon codes for you to save a little money there. 71% off, I think. APEX right now, 80% off Bulenox. Topstep still running that 60% off. No code needed for that. Just use my link, it helps me. It helps us, that's all. Like I said, I'm going to try to get back to trading the London session. The only thing is I don't want me trading the London session to affect my stream for the New York session. So we'll see how that goes. Still want to try to stream the entire New York session, if possible. Only stopped streaming the London session because of kind of some health issues I had going on, but we're feeling better. So, and we're still waking up in the middle of the night, so it's like waking up, having a hard time going back to sleep. If we're going to do that, we may as well stream. Oh, let's get some music going. Let's get some music this morning. Wake us up. Let's take a look here. So we're just waiting to see if we get a shift back to the upside or not here. It's really what we're doing. Have you taken any trades yet this morning, Juker? So far, we're just shopping around here. That's the only thing is I forget I got to go in here and change this back to these headphones. should be it. I don't hear anything. All right, we're getting this pushed back up. I don't hear anything. Oops. I heard that, but that's not the headphones. Oh, are they turned down here? Oh, what's going on with them? That is weird. I can't hear anything through the headphones. So we're getting a little bit of a shift back to the upside here, which is kind of what we expected. I do not know. I don't know. We can't hear it through the headphones. I'll have to figure that out later. I don't know what's going on with it. We'll have to figure that out later. I don't know why. Juker says trading in London can be hard for you US people. Yeah. Opens at 9 a.m. for you, so it's perfect timing. You're trying out a new scalping strategy backtest this weekend. Working good so far. Nice. So what do we want to see here? What's the idea? We want to see this thing breach this swing high at 03. Right? That's kind of the idea. Of course, I planted this in the wrong spot. So we kind of want to see it breach that area. So I'm just thinking out loud here, guys, so you guys can see what I'm thinking. Or here. And then we've left a fair value gap right here. Okay? So here's the idea. Here's the concept. Let's push through the 03s. Let's pull back. Test this gap. And then your first take profit, if you had two contracts, would be the 15s. So you're going to get long here at the 88, 89 area. First take profit 15, second take profit 33.50. That's the idea. So you can see we've got the first thing to happen. We swept the low, so we ran the liquidity. We've got a market structure shift back to the upside on the 1 minute chart here. Now, if you're looking at the 3 minute chart, which I do find to be stronger confluence, you know, on the 3 minute chart, you'd want to see it run the 15 first, which is completely fine. So on the 3 minute chart, it could run the 15. Same idea. You'd want it to pull back into this area at the 88 area. And you do have the VWAP right here at the 0809 area as well. So I do like to use the 3 minute chart for these types of setups, but you can just use the 1 minute chart. I mean, you like to see it run a couple of swing highs, right? So here's the first swing high. We ran that. Second swing high. We ran that. Third swing high. So that's kind of your idea here. So if it trades back in to this gap, the idea would be to take a long. Stop would be down here at the 75.50. You could even put it at the 71s. Really just depends. So let's just think of this in terms of risk to reward. So 88 to 71, 17 handles. So from 88, we should be looking for a minimum of 34 handles. So that's 98, 08, 18. So, you know, take profit up here at the 1775, 18 area would kind of be the idea off the entry down here at the 88.50. So 2 to 1 risk to reward, risking 17 for 34. And then maybe leave a runner on all the way up to the 33.50s would kind of be the idea there. Now, obviously, we didn't run the 15s right here, right? That's an ideal scenario. You want to run the 15s first in order to kind of solidify this entry. Can you take this trade without it running the 15s? For sure. The only problem is, technically on the 3-minute chart, you just traded up into an order block and you did not have a structure shift. So what does that mean? That means that you can make an argument for it to continue to sell here. So ideally, to have the strongest chance of this thing moving up into the 30s here, we want to run that 15 area first. Otherwise, like I said, you're just testing that order block on the 3-minute chart. Let's see, we can switch over to here and I can show you the 3-minute chart so you can kind of see what we're talking about. So right here, this is an order block on your 3-minute chart. You can see we wicked right up into it. So to me, without clearing this order block, we could just continue to sell down. But I'd be looking for it to kind of run the highs here, but we got to push through that 15 first. So me personally, I'm not going to take the long, even if we trade back into this gap, until we run the 15. Let's run those 15s, get a true structure shift, and then we could consider a long. But it's up to you however you want to do it. But that's my idea. That's what I'm thinking. Just thinking out loud here, guys, so you guys can get an idea of what we're thinking over here. So let's push through the 15 without running the 33, obviously. And then, because if we run the 33 before we pull back, it's not what you want to see. As you can see kind of what happened here on the 3-minute chart, we did leave. I mean, it left this gap here, and this is the same gap you'd be looking for an entry off of, right? And you see it wicked back down into it. But is there a structure shift here? Well, technically speaking, yes. I mean, this is considered a swing high, I guess. So I guess based on that, you could have taken the entry here off the 95. But to me, I'd like to see this swing high ran. I mean, technically, that is a swing high there at the 92s. And this thing could just go without us, right? I mean, that's just how it is sometimes. So let's see this thing push through this 15 area, and then we can pull back down and kind of go. But let's just see what happens. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button for me. Once again, if you are watching and you're not yet subscribed, do me a big favor, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. Now, also, if I was looking for an ABC setup to the upside, this would have been a nice little entry there. Nice little setup. Same concept. You do got the VWAP here at the 08 area, 07, 08 area. And the ES just touched the VWAP to the tick right there at the 0950. So let's see if we get a little pop through here, if we just kind of get stoned in this area. Rejected. So pop it above the VWAP there. See if this thing runs the 15. You'll have to let me in on that scalping strategy, Juker, when you get time. Obviously, I think you know I'm testing a couple of them. That trying to get the risk to reward a little better on that Nenzarenko strategy I was using. I like that. I like that strategy. It's kind of fun. Bigger size, bigger risk, but I don't think it's realistic with the type of risk to reward that we got going on right now with it. Today, during the New York session, I'll be using that with a much closer to a one-to-one risk to reward. In my back test, it's running at about a 70% win rate. So if I can just get that risk to reward correct, I think it will be something that would be pretty good to use. So even at a one-to-one, 70% should kind of be a money printer there, but I don't know how. I haven't back tested it to see long term yet to see if it holds that 70%. Haven't back tested that yet. So you can see we pushed up into the 12-13 area there. Did not run that 15, and we're pulling back. ES rejected the VWAP there. So kind of respecting that order block on the 3-minute chart there. Nothing, you don't have a, so you want to see the body of the candle kind of respect that 50% area. So you want to see the bodies close below that if it's going to just continue to sell. I wanted to see this run the 15 for a true structure shift on the 3-minute chart there. That's what I wanted to see. Now this thing could just push right through there and run the highs, right? I mean, it doesn't have to on the 3-minute chart. You know, this technically is a shift in structure. Not good enough for me to take, but you could. Because the way this thing looks right now, I think we're going to make new lows. How we rejected there. We just pushed right back up into that order block, and if we're taking a look at the ES, it really did the exact same thing. It's the same structure set up there on the ES, you can see here. So while we really wanted to see it breach that 15 area, we wanted to see the ES, you know, breach the 12 area. It did not. Just tapped into the order block, tapped into the VWAP and rejected. So it's kind of the thing that, come on, this piece of crap sometimes. The annoying thing, you can make an argument for both directions, right? Sometimes. That's what makes trading tough. Which, come on, you and this thing. I changed my setup here. Big sell, look at this thing. It's dumpy. So as soon as it failed to make this, break this 15 here, that's kind of your, this is why I like to use the 3-minute chart, right? So we just use the 1-minute chart. This looks like what we want to see, right? 2 swing highs. Boom, you enter long here. But without breaking that 3rd swing high in this order block, that's kind of it telling us that this long's probably not a good idea. Just going back, making sure I haven't missed anything. So that long setup that we were looking for there kind of failed, right? I mean, it still might work out, but it's not strong enough for me to take it. could have taken that short off that order block, but I was kind of thinking we might run that liquidity to the upside, and it said, nah, we don't think so. Are you using the scalping strategy during London, Juker? I should probably bring up, let me do that. I'm going to bring up my Ninjarinko strategy. Let's take a peek at that and see what kind of entries we would have got this morning. Might be an entry here, a little short setup. If you just trade kind of, that would kind of be your short setup here. Break of the trend line, you expect it to maybe run the lows down here at the 71s. I don't love that setup just because, you are at the perceived low. But if you took the short for the break of the low of this candle, 83, you do got a little room there for 10 handles. All right, let's take this off screen here. WADA looking kind of rough over here. No volumes. Gosh, I'm so frustrated with how these... this thing. Trying to test my nerves at 3 o'clock in the morning. So holding up here at the pivot, guys. Still got the pivot down there at 77s to be aware of as well. So it is holding up there right now. All right, let's get this pulled up. Looks like it wants to test that pivot down at the 75s once again. Potentially. Yeah, we would be kind of getting a short setup here, but we are at the pivot point. Just going back and looking here to see what this would have offered. So yeah, we would have took a long at the 03. It pushed up to the 12. That would have been a winner. Then you would have got short at 96. Don't love that. Traded down to the... that actually wouldn't have been bad. That's similar to the trade that we actually took. Yep. So really that's the only setup. We've had 2 entries. Looks like I would have been better off taking those 2 entries than the 2 I took, but there you go. So still holding up here at the 79 area. I I mean, this thing might hold this gap, right? I mean, it might. I don't know. I just didn't love it because we didn't run the 15s. We ran the 15s and this pulled back. I would have taken this entry. Target would have been 33s all day long there, but with it not running that swing high, just wasn't in love with it. ES put in a higher low here. Nasdaq trying to work on a higher low also. Volume trying to come in here on the WADA. That's some buy volume coming through. VWAP up at the 07s. If you're going to consider taking a long, just based off of momentum here, I'd probably want to see it clear that 07 area, but might be late to the party at that point. This thing is kind of ranging this morning. I think we got a pretty tight range here on the London session. Doesn't really seem to be a huge trending sort of morning. Volume coming in nicely here now. So there's kind of the idea here. This looks still looks kind of like an ABC to the downside over here on the smaller time frames, but who really knows? Trading into the whole number here. I don't feel comfortable taking a long at this point. Still got the VWAP up there at the 08s. Yeah. Okay. Trying to watch here, see if this thing continues back to the upside or not. Got the whole number there, VWAP at the 0708 area. Volume coming in here trying to push this thing on through. See if it can't push through that 08 area there. Testing the VWAP here at the 07s. Just kind of see what happens. At this point, guys, we're not taking an entry. Obviously, we're waiting for our setup, right? It's got to be a nice, easy setup in order for us to take it. Easy read, if you will. So technically speaking, that gap that we have outlined there did hold. I didn't love it because we didn't breach the 15. Like I said, I mean, you could have taken the long there. Well, we do got the order block on the 3-minute chart that held the first time. We kind of just pushed right back up into it again. So to me, we got to get through this area in order to continue to the upside. As long as we're holding, as long as the body of the candles hold below this line and we don't breach the order block, I don't love a long until that happens. So far, 2 attempts to get through there denied. We can take these off the chart now. These were just us kind of outlining where we wanted to see price to move through before we considered a long. It moved through 2 of them, just not make it through the third. Didn't make it to the third there. So if you are just now joining us, we did take 2 trades. We got the P&L right there on the chart. First trade was a loser, $430. Second trade was a winner, $545, I think. So we're up $215 right there on the day. So you can see this thing's just respecting that order block, right? It's not getting through there. Now you could take the entry off that order block a couple of times already. You could take the short off the order block there. ES putting in a lower high. Nasdaq, same structure. Kind of got this, you know, you can mark that area out. Kind of putting in a lower high. So that's not a good looking structure for, you know, if you're bullish here. And like I said, the ES kind of has the same structure there. Holding below the VWAP, just unable to get above there so far. If you guys are interested in trading futures, you can see the banner up there. Apex got the 71% off sale going on. Bulenox 80% currently still going on. And Topstep $50, $49 for a 50K account. Link in the description for all of those. They do help support the channel, so we do appreciate it. So right now I'm just waiting. Not much to do here until we kind of get our setup, right? If we can get our setup, we take it. Got about 3 minutes here until the end of the, well, until we get to the 4 a.m. top of the hour. Just about 3 minutes here. Just looking at that 3-minute chart, make sure I'm not missing anything. Seems reasonable to me. So once again, VWAP right there at the 0708 area there on the Nasdaq. VWAP's at the 09s on the ES. Unable to get through that VWAP area. We tested it earlier right there about 305. Looked like we were going to get above there. That kind of faked me out. I didn't wait for confirmation. I just took the push above long, and it failed immediately. Should have waited for confirmation. Kind of cost myself $430 there in profit. That's okay. We scratched it back there. Maybe left a little bit on the table there, but that's all right. Sometimes that's going to happen. So the low on the ES is down there at the 42.99.50. Currently at the 06s. Pretty large gap to the upside going into the New York session this morning, 100 points. We got a news-heavy week this week. I don't remember exactly what the news is, but it is a news-heavy week. I think we got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are all news-heavy days. So does that mean that Monday and Tuesday are going to kind of be garbage price actions? Who knows? Maybe Tuesday at least. I don't know. So we're trying to push through the 15,000s there. ES testing the 08 level right here at the top of the hour. Usually get a little bit of a push. So you can see we're testing that high to high trend line there. I mean, if we get above the 15s there, we can kind of get going, but until then, it's just, what do you do? You know? All right, what we got going on here? Let's see, trying to push through there. Let's check out the WADA. Do we want to take some sort of momentum entry? Probably not. Sellers popping in right there, knocking it right back down. I mean, this structure leads you to believe we're just going to continue to sell down a bit, right? ES fell in to get above the VWAP there as well. Explosion line below the dead man here, so buyers are trying to pop in though. It's kind of going sideways here for the last few minutes. Ranging. See there on the 1 minute chart, it's kind of ranging between the 05s and the 95s, 10-point range. $10-point range there on the Nasdaq, which is not a huge range. Makes it difficult to do anything. Makes it difficult. Testing the 15,000 level there. If we can get above that VWAP there at the 07s and kind of make it stick, you might can get a little run going here. ES testing the VWAP here at the same time. We're not going to fall victim to the same trap we did earlier. So if it pushes through the VWAP, we're going to want to see it stick first. I don't want to just take the breakout here, but you could. All right, there we go. Testing that order block that's held twice so far. Want to see it breach that 15 if it's going to do it. Breach that 15 there, then it leads me to believe 33 is up next. So we're tapping it. Don't want to put in equal highs here and turn back down. You need this thing to get through there with some power. That's not what you want to see. It needs to push on through there if it's going to push. So tested the top side of the order block there, but you want to see this thing hold above that 05 area really here if it's going to continue to push. You can see candle still did not close above this midway point. Trying to trap some longs there, just like it trapped me earlier. You might say, well, if it's trading up into the order block and then selling off, why aren't you taking the short? I'm not taking the short because we're right there at the 15,000s, and then you got the 90 right below it. And then we know we got this support down here, right? This gap that's still held. So tough to short this, really. I shorted it earlier and kind of broke my rules to do it, but I don't want to play with fire twice, you know. Just even though this structure kind of looks weak. So failed to push through the 15s there. Just double topped, and now it's just water falling back to the down. It's taken the elevator, Juker, to the downside. Stair step up, elevator down. Juker says it every day. There we go. Look at it playing out there. Look at these. Stair step up, elevator down. There you go. Easy peasy. That's all you gotta wait on. Just jump on the elevator. So trade right back into that gap. Such a tricky area for me. It's just, I don't know. You could be scalping this. I mean, there's trades to be had in this area for sure. I don't love it. I don't love the area that we're in. I mean, if we weren't right here at the whole number, this would be like, you know, you could short this several times, but I don't like it just because of the area. Just because of the area, that's all. Once again, if you guys haven't already, hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. It helps the channel. We appreciate it. I did take a small scalp earlier on my Ninja Rinko chart over here, $45. I didn't trust it. I moved the stop because technically it was in an area where I shouldn't be taking the trade. And had we not moved the stop, we would have made woulda, coulda, shoulda. Would have made a couple $100, but we moved the stop. It's actually setting up for a short right now. Should we take it? This one actually fits the rules. We're gonna take this short here if it so if it tags us in, we got our, well actually it doesn't fit the rules, but yeah, we're at the 90. I'm not supposed to take it at the 90. Tagged in there. Moving my stop already because like I said, I don't love it. Kind of breaking the rules here. Come on. I'm looking for 86 on my first target. Don't you stop me. Might stop me out. Stop me out there. I moved the stop. I realized I was breaking the rules. I moved the stop. You dirty dog. Now it's gonna go. It's gonna hit. It's gonna hit the first target there. 5 points would have been 86. I think it hit 86.50. Not supposed to take it at the 90 whole number pivot. I realized it was at the 90 after it already tagged me in, or right when it tagged me in. Still made 40 bucks off of it though. $85 on that account. Nothing huge. You can see over here on the chart you guys are watching, kind of trading back into that gap. Still held that gap so far. I mean, that's the thing. I talked about this entry here, but I didn't take it because it did not breach the 15, so I wasn't confident in it enough. That's where your stop would be. Would have been. So you would have got long at the 88 if you took this setup. I didn't love it, but it did put you through some stuff. But it did go from 88 all the way up to 15. So it would have been 27 handles. Or you could have played it in the other direction. You could have taken the short. You know, you got the short here once, short here twice. And see, that's why I'm not supposed to take that into the 90. See what happens there? Pushing right back up would have stopped me out right there for a loss if we would have never hit our target. I don't think. No, didn't hit the target. It was 2 ticks away from the first target. And now we would be eating a loss. That's why we moved that. Moved the stop there. Even though I don't like moving the stop sometimes. It does cost me. It does cost me. So we're up $300 total. So we did take that over there on that account. This is a funded account that we're currently in drawdown on, but down like 1,200 bucks. Well, we're going to be working on that one today during our New York session, trying to get that thing back in the green. I took some trades on it Friday afternoon. I was actually up $900 on it at one point. And then using the Ninzarenko strategy. But if you guys have been watching me during the New York session, you know that that strategy, the risk to reward is not correct. And so we were up $800, $900 on it, and then we took 2 back-to-back losers and ended up being down $1,200. That's the tough part about that strategy is got to get the risk to reward right. That's what I've been working on in the back testing and stuff, trying to figure out where it should be at to make sense. Doesn't make sense to continue trading it the way I did last week. So there you can see retesting the VWAP once again and just dumping. Back down to the 90 once again here. ES trying to look a little bit stronger here. It pushed all the way up. Let's check the 3-minute. Yeah, so the Nasdaq looking a bit weaker. Still kind of holding that order block area. Just bouncing between the two. Bouncing between that lower 1-minute fair value gap and that order block that we got up there on the 3-minute chart. Pretty strong rejections off that order block, though. You're not, it's testing it, but it's not getting through there. I mean, if it goes up and tests that 15K level one more time, do we dare take a short? I feel more comfortable in the short than I do the long. What do you guys think? I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know why I feel more comfortable in the short. I guess because of the lower highs there and we got the order block that's been respected. But the ES is looking a bit stronger here. It did push above the VWAP. Pulled back below the VWAP now, but kind of retesting it here, trying to get going. I mean, we could jump in there for like a 5. We could try to jump in there for like a 5-handle scalp and risk our profits. Put on the old trailing stop. I don't know. What do you think? I don't know if it's high probability. It's the only thing, right? Probably not. Let's watch the WADA here. Let's see. Yeah, it is choppy. You're not lying, Juker. It's choppy for sure. I was just thinking if we push back up into this trend line one more time, which is probably playing with fire here because we've done it. You know, it's probably better to have taken it already. Let's see here. Probably not smart. Does kind of look like a shallow ABC here, but so the ES is above the VWAP here at the 09s. Let's see if it starts to lose it. Probably jumped in a little too late there. Yeah, it's probably gonna, yeah, it stopped us out right away. That's why you don't do that. I saw the sell come in there, and I just tried to take the momentum down and jumped in right away. Got punished. That's how it goes. So, pretty much back to even there. What can you do? Well, guys, I do think that's going to do it for me for this London session. Pretty much break even. I guess we're up $90. So, we'll be live at 9:15 a.m. for the New York session, though. And we'll be back live tomorrow morning, 2:45 a.m. for the New York, or for the London. Did I say that backwards? You guys know what I mean. If you haven't already, hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. And we'll see you live at 9:15 a.m. Thanks for watching.